Before he met me, he has these sort of daydreams. Why not live well? Why not live graciously? Why not be a kind person, a generous person in the world? Why not be a gentleman? Why not be a lady? These are tremendous accomplishments for man and for woman in this world. Before he met me, he has these sort of daydreams. Think of New York City, where physically I'm sleeping. I'm seeing to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. Like they sleep in the assumption that they are now what they would like to be. Realize it. If night after night they sleep in the assumption that they are now what they would like to be. Went by and I didn't see any evidence. I said to him, Ab, if I don't make the next boat out, no planes were flying, no commercial planes were flying in those days, I can't go to Barbados. He said to me, who said you are going to Barbados? You are in Barbados. So this night when I sleep in Barbados. I would love to go to Barbados. He said to me, you are in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados? He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. I didn't quite understand what he was telling me. I learned it afterwards. He was telling me that if I want something, I must now, at that moment that I want it, assume that I have it. I want to go to Barbados. I am in Barbados. So this night when I sleep in Barbados. How? In my imagination. And how do I know I'm there? Think of New York City, where physically I'm sleeping. I'm safe to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. I said to him, Ab, if I don't make the next boat out, no planes were flying, no commercial planes were flying in those days, I can't go to Barbados. He said to me, who said you are going to Barbados? You are in Barbados. We can't discuss how you're going to Barbados when you're already in Barbados. Then he walked straight to his room and slammed the door in my face, which was not an invitation to follow him. If you knew him, that's how he taught me. I am asleep as though I am in Barbados. When I went to bed, though in New York City, I had assumed that I am actually in Barbados and see New York City not under me, but to the north of me, 2,000 miles. And I woke within 48 hours after that moment, and under my door letter from my brother Victor. And in that letter, he enclosed a small little draft, $50, that I have told the steamship company, the Furnace Whitty Company, to issue a ticket and charge it to me. The $50 is simply if you want some little thing those days you could buy a suit for $12, a fairly decent suit. You could buy a pair of shoes for $3.50 or $4. But he says that $50, yes, anything you may need to get aboard the ship. But sign the chits for all expenses, and I will pay all the tips. So it's not for tips aboard the ship. I went down to the place and I told them what my letter said. I read my letter to them. They said, Mr. Goddard, we only have steerage from now on. But when we get to St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands, you may have first class because someone disembarked in St. Thomas. I accepted it. I went back to my friend Abdullah and I told him, it worked. I'm going on the 6th of December, but I have to go steerage until we hit St. Thomas and then we go first class to Barbados. You know what he said to me? He said, who is talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class. Well, what are you going to do with a man like that? I went straight to the boat on the morning of the 6th, expecting I would go steerage to the Virgin Islands, when the man said to me, Mr. Goddard, we have a nice surprise for you. We had a cancellation, and so now you're going to first class. He wasn't surprised. I wouldn't even call him to tell him, because he's not given that way. He was trying to teach me a lesson. You believe in God, believe in me also.
Tauber.
I accepted it. I went back to my friend Abdullah and I told him, it worked. I accepted it. I went back to my friend Abdullah and I told him, it worked. I accepted it. I went back to my friend Abdullah and I told him, it worked. What he said to me? He said, who is talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class. What he said to me? He said, who is talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class.
So the strongest man in the world for the second. Will you go to bed tonight dreaming of winning now?
Of course. Before he met me, he had these sort of daydreams. Like they sleep in the assumption that they are now what they would like to be. Realize it. If night after night they sleep in the assumption that they are now what they would like to be. Think of New York City where physically I'm sleeping. I'm safe to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. Think of New York City where physically I'm sleeping. I'm safe to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. Something I must now at that moment that I wanted as soon as I have it. Something I must now at that moment that I wanted as soon as I have it. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. I'm safe to my north, 2,000 miles. northwest of where I am in Barbados. Something I must now at that moment that I wanted, assume that I have it. Something I must now at that moment that I wanted, assume that I have it. Something I must now at that moment that I wanted, assume that I have it. He said, who is talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class. He said, who is talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class. He said, who is talking of going to Barbados? You have gone to Barbados and you went first class. Think of New York City where physically I'm seeing. I'm seeing to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. Think of New York City where physically I'm seeing. I'm seeing to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. Something I must now at that moment that I wanted, assume that I have it. Went by and I didn't see any evidence. I said to him, if I don't make the next boat out, no planes were flying, no commercial planes were flying in those days, I can't go to Barbados. He said to me, who said you are going to Barbados? You are in Barbados. You are in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. Think of New York City where physically I'm seeing. I'm seeing to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. Think of New York City where physically I'm seeing. I'm seeing to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Well, the months went by and I didn't see any evidence. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. But this night when I sleep in Barbados. Went by and I didn't see any evidence. I said to him, if I don't make the next boat out, no planes were flying, no commercial planes were flying in those days, I can't go to Barbados. He said to me, who said you are going to Barbados? You are in Barbados. And see to my north, 2,000 miles. Northwest of where I am in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados. Or in Barbados. I said, I am in Barbados. He said, yes, you are now in Barbados.